All right, hey, what's up everybody? Landan with LMR.com. We got three pretty cool cars outside today, and we're gonna talk about wheel and tire fitment specifically for an 18.9, 1810 on a Fox Body Mustang. We have a really good article that kind of covers the bulk of Fox Body. We'll leave a link to that down in the video description if you want to check it out. But for this one, just because there's so much information, we're gonna break this down into kind of different wheel sizes and go from there. So for this video, we're doing the 18.9 front, 1810 rear. I'll just go ahead and clear the air that individual results will always vary. Just because this car has something done to it, this one has something done to it, and this one has something done to it, that doesn't necessarily mean that it could be the same for you. It could be different. It could be a combination of both. You know, a little bit of clearancing on the rear inner frame rail for this car, you may have to do a little bit more on that car. Every single car is going to be just a little bit different. So I just want to go ahead and clear the air on that one, but we'll go ahead and continue. We'll start over here with Dragula. For those of you that have been around the channel, you know this car. This has the 393 pushrod engine in it. Man, this is a super fun car. It looks really good. Hard to beat a black coupe. And then the wheel and tire package on this particular car. This is the SVE drag comp with an 18.9 front, 1810 rear. This is exactly the way we sell the wheel and tire kit on the website. It'll be a Nitto 555 G2 tire, 285, 35, 18 sizing, and then out back, that's a 285, 35, 18 sizing. Up front, this car has Fox Body geometry. It is running a OEM lower control arm, or OEM style lower control arm, OEM K member. It does have an SN95 spindle with the SN95 Cobra front brake conversion. And as you see this in the car, we'll touch base on it when we jump over here to this silver 93 LX hatch. But up until 1990, just before they changed the fender opening, these K members were also, the track width was a little bit narrower, and that wheel is sunk inside the fender just a little bit more, and you'll make note of that again when we jump over here to this silver 93 LX hatch. And also on the 79 to 90 cars, the front spat was just a little bit longer, so it extended further towards the wheel. That also plays with your clearance as well. This car here does have some rack limiters in it. Can't remember how many. Again, everybody's situation will vary, but we did have to do a little bit of heat gun modification to the inner fender splash shields, both front and rear, to get this to situate and fit the way it's supposed to. We don't have any rubbing, anything like that up front, so this checks out good. We did some chasing, and on this particular car, we don't have any concerns of rubbing. Now, if you were to compress the suspension and get it under some serious load, yeah, you may run into some tire to inner fender splash shield clearance, but you know, that's under you know, a worse condition, worst circumstance, if you will, worst case scenario, and that could be on any given car in any given situation. So also up front, I almost forgot to mention, this car does have SVE caster camber plates. That's important, especially you know, if you're running a lowered Mustang, to get your caster and your camber back within spec. But that also allows you to give yourself just a little bit more camber if you need some outside clearance here for the tire. So that's the front on this car. We'll jump out back to the rear. Again, 1810 wheel with a 285, 35, 18 tire. And before we get any further, offset and back spacing is also super crucial. Every single one of these wheels that we're going to talk about today, you know, they're within plus or minus 1 or 2 millimeters. Even then, that smaller difference can still play a factor in the overall fitment. But as you can see here, we definitely have some rubbing on this particular tire. It's sitting low. It's got an SVE rear spring in it. We have rolled the fenders, but we didn't go too crazy on them. So this is something that we could probably address, you know, if we felt like it was valid. Probably need to go ahead and do that, but you can definitely see some damage to the sidewall of this tire where it's contacting the outside edge of the quarter panel. Inside clearance is good. This car does have the quad shock removed. In some instances, you can flip the quad shock to where the body of the shock is on the axle and the shaft side is over here on the frame rail. And if you have to eliminate the quad shock, it's in your best interest to upgrade to a rear lower control arm with a little bit better bushing, like polyurethane, solid bushing, because that's going to help get the power to the ground, because the quad shock is designed to kind of help dampen and reduce some of that wheel hop. No clearance issues on the inside of this car. So this car here also has a 3-inch tailpipe, and you can see we have some nice clearance between the inside edge of the tire and the piping itself. Another thing to make note of, and I'll probably repeat myself a few times throughout this video, but I think that's okay, is the profile of the tire. A Nitto 555 G2 by design has a very kind of tall, flat sidewall and just kind of noses over to the tread. On other tires, you know, they may kind of have a more rounded edge. That also helps with clearance. I know that seems silly, but that's definitely a metric that you have to consider with this. We'll jump over here to the passenger side of this car. So same gap, give or take, between the inside edge of the tire and the tailpipe. So we have clearance, good amount of clearance on both sides. So that's gonna wrap up Dragula 1989 LX car. Jumping over here to the silver 93 LX hatchback. Y'all seen this one on the channel as well. It's got the Vortech V3 blower on it. It's got a host of SVE 50 resto goodies. We'll start up here in the front. This is utilizing Fox geometry. It's got a factory Fox K-member with factory style lower control arms. As I made mention over here with Dragula, the 91 to 93 K-members had just a little bit wider track width. They were wider in general. So you can see the relationship of this tire to the front fender, how it's poking out a little bit more than on Dragula. This car does have an SN95 Cobra style front brake conversion, just like Dragula does. 18x9 front wheel. This is the SVE Series 3 in gunmetal. And this is an old tire because we've actually had this set up on this car for quite a while. It's crazy we hadn't changed it, but it just looks so good. It complements everything about the car. But this is an old Sumitomo, I think HTR Z3. And going back to what I was talking about over here with Dragula with the sidewall profile, you see how this one kind of rounds off more than that Nitto 555 G2. And even with the little bit of poke, you know, we haven't had any issues with clearance with the fender and the outside edge of the tire. On the 91 to 93 fenders, this front spat opening is more narrow. So you have a wider clearance here, and this car hasn't had to have any heat gun modification to the splash shields. Does have rack limiters. Again, not sure how many, gonna differ from car to car. Also has caster camber plates. As you can see, we have some, we don't have very much negative camber in it, but it does have SVE caster camber plates on it. Tire size, if it matters, since this is an old tire, it's a 265 35 18. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. Tires are like shoes. You know, you may wear a size 11 in said brand, and you may wear a 10.5 or even an 11.5 in another brand. All right, so moving to the rear to the silver LX hatch, 18x10 with a 285 35 18. And you can really see the rounded sidewall profile on the rear tire. It's a little bit more exaggerated than the front. And I always said that these HTR Z3s ran just a little bit small, again, going back to my shoe theory. We have made contact with the outside edge of the fender with this car, but this was before we did some fender rolling. Can we roll it a little bit more? Sure. But we have rolled these fenders just a little bit because we were running a drag radial on there, and they were making some pretty good contact. So we had to get up in there with a fender roller and carefully massage that. No issues with tailpipe clearance on this one, although it is close. This is 2.5-inch piping. You can see it's actually a little bit closer than the tailpipe to tire clearance on Dragula. That's going to depend on brand of catback. Every single one of these tailpipes, even though they may share a similar bend, they could get a little close to the tire, or they may be situated further away. That also can be clocked at the ball and socket connections and your slip joints at the mufflers. But we've got this one to where we need it. No quad shock on this car either, but it does have a aftermarket rear lower control arm. We'll jump over here to the passenger side. We'll take a look at the tailpipe clearance on it just to see if there's any difference. About the same. And over here, check this out. You can see some good carnage before we roll the fenders. The tire making contact with the quarter panel. I probably called this a fender 100 times, but oh well. This, you gotta leave that in the video. All right, so the last stop. This is Ted's ASC McLaren. This is a Capri, still Fox chassis car. Of the three, This one is the most extensive in terms of suspension geometry. This has a Maximum Motorsport grip package on it. So that includes a Maximum Motorsport K-member and front lower control arms, amongst some other goodies. So the geometry of this is specific to what Maximum designed it off of. That's a good talking point. Depending on brand of K-member, depending on control arm, you know, you may have a forward offset control arm, a neutral offset control arm, or even a rearward offset control arm. That's all gonna play factor in the front fitment for your wheel and tire. And as far as Ted's car goes, this has some pretty extensive inner fender splash shield stuff. This was long before we had produced and made the 5.0 Resto inner fender splash shields. So we actually kind of MacGyvered our own stuff. I believe we used S197 inner splash shields, modified them to work for a Fox body. So again, another great point of sometimes you have to go to the ends of the earth to get this stuff to properly fit. But Ted's car, unaware of steering rack limiters. Again, every car is going to be a little bit different, but this is an 18.9 SVE Series 1 wheel, 255 35/18 Nitto NT05. This sidewall profile a little bit different than their 555 G2. It kind of starts to round off as you get to the tread. Ted doesn't look like he's had any clearance issues with his front fender. If I am correct on this, whenever this car was in paint and body, they did do some fender modifications to prepare for the 18/9 front wheel. Maximum Motorsports caster camber plates, and it's got a little bit of negative camber. Like the other two cars, this car does have a SN95 Cobra brake conversion with an SN95 spindle. All right, so moving to the rear, this is an 18/10 Series 1 with a 295. All right, so check this out, 295 35/18 Nitto NT05. And as you can see, even with some quarter panel modifications and kind of an aggressive spring rate with the Maximum Motorsport grip box, Ted has had some tire interference with his quarter panel. Again, in paint and body, when this car was getting completely redone, they did massage and modify some of this inner quarter panel stuff. But even with those modifications, you know, we're still getting a little bit of contact here with the tire and the inside edge of the quarter panel. Okay, so Ted's car, it's pretty custom. That was the intent of the build. He's running aftermarket tailpipes. We also have to clear a panhard bar on this particular car, so you can see the real estate between the tailpipe and this 295 35/18 Nitto NT05. We are oh so close. I mean, it is almost touching the tailpipe. But I guess, as they say, an inch is as good as a mile. And like the other two cars, this car has Fox length axles with SN95 Cobra style rear discs. And then just because we can, and we've done it on the other cars, we'll jump over here to the passenger side, kind of talk about the tailpipe clearance. A little bit more on this side, actually. I can get my entire hand or fingers through there, unlike the driver's side. And then here on the tire for the passenger side, looks pretty clean. Looks like we haven't had any contact with the inside edge of the quarter panel. So again, that's another good point of it may happen on one side, it may not happen on the other, and vice versa. You know, you never know what you're going to get, and everybody's situation is always going to be a little bit different. And these are the compromises we make, you know, when we want to run wheels and tires that, you know, essentially weren't designed for these particular cars. And while we're here, this does not have a quad shock. It's got all the Maximum Motorsports goodies under here, some crazy stuff for rear suspension. And then again, in paint and body, the inside area of the frame rail was massaged to set us up for an 1810 with a wider rear tire. All right, so real quick, I forgot to tell y'all something. All three of the cars in this video are running 96 to 04 SN95 spindles. Those spindles have an 8mm wider track width. So what does that mean? That's going to push the front wheels out an additional 8mm. So going back to the mention of camber, as well as your sidewall profile, you may have to run additional negative camber, and that sidewall profile is going to be important to clear the fender if you're running 96 to 04 spindles. Also, all three of the cars in the video have Fox length rear ends and Fox length axles. Well, a popular upgrade for some Fox owners is they run the entire rear axle out of a 94 to 98 SN95 car. Problem with that is that entire assembly is 1.5 inches wider than the Fox stuff. So if you split that into two, it's 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch wider on each side. So that is gonna affect the wheel fitment on your car. If you were to take this 18 by 10, that's on these three cars, put it on a car with a 94 to 98 rear end, you're gonna have some additional poke, and more than likely, it may not work. So I just wanted to quickly mention that just so you all are aware. All right, everybody, so that's a wrap. Again, a pretty thorough run through, really, for an 18.9, 18.10 setup. You know, again, while we can't cover every scenario, they're always gonna be different. That's just the way it is. But it's lunchtime. Ted's trying to take his car. But we're gonna go ahead and sign off. As always, if y'all find value in what we do, please consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and then till we see you in the next one for all things Fox Body, keep it right here at The Real Enthusiasts, LMR.com.